Hey there, good morning. It is our first frost of the year. It is November 2nd. We have had down to 28 degrees last night. I want to show you all. I've got the ladies up here. Today we're going to be talking about something that's very important and something that I do, and that is our protein tubs and what we do. Now, I talk a lot about it, and I've done some videos in the past on having your pastures and putting them in green pastures for protein and getting their gut used to the greenery. I've done that in the past and shown that. This year's a little bit different for us. We have gone, I planted on the 5th. I planted September 5th. It's November 2nd. I planted September 5th. The last rain that we got on this farm was September 3rd. So I say all that because the protein in the vegetation, it's been so dry. You can see and look around that our fields have been completely just burned up from absolutely zero moisture. I did come up today and I gathered pumpkins from our local town, the garden club there. The ladies do a great job and they put out pumpkins every year. And I've been fortunate to be able to get some of those. And I'll show you, last year I put them down in the orchard and I did 3 pumpkins at the bottom of every tree. And we had a really nice amount of pumpkins come up in the spring. Everything looked great. And then the deer came in and mowed them all down. So they were great for fertilizer and compost at the bottom of all of our Pakistani mulberry and apple and pear trees. But this year, this is what we did. So I just came through, I just threw them out of the truck and I've got them all over, have them all over the field. And that is for the sheep to be able to eat on. They absolutely love them. Again, going back to some of my past videos, I talk a lot about how we did that with the chickens. But the sheep right now just don't have anything really green to eat. I planted 1,250 pounds of a 7-weight blend. And you can see nothing. We have absolutely nothing. So with all that being said, I want to get back to the protein tubs and what we do. You know, the sheep, the cattle, whatever you have, they need the protein from the grass. Normally we can get that in. We've got cool season grasses. And like I said, I planted the 7-way. I'm going to set this right here. But this year, we have not been able to do that. And the reason that we haven't is because of the drought. I put out a protein tub every year. Let me back up. I started last year. I had such success. I made a commitment that I was going to do it every year. And what you're going to see when you put these protein tubs out, and I know a lot of people use them. So the people that are using these, it's not really geared towards you. This is more for people that haven't used them before. If you're doing grass-fed, you're not feeding grain, the protein tubs that you put out, they're going to hit them really, really hard at first. And when they hit them hard, that's, you know, don't shoo them off or anything. They're going to get those protein levels, which you're going to see in this video. The protein levels are going to even out. But one of the things that you want to look at is when you are doing these, you need to focus on buying at least 2. Now I've got 10 ewes and 1 ram, and these are about 125 pounds each. They run roughly $75. But here's where you run into a lot of farming communities like where I'm at. You know, I'm in between 2 small towns. One town does not have a co-op, the other one does. But when I went to buy them 2 weeks ago, they didn't have any of the protein tubs. So you got to make sure that when you are in a small town, and especially if you have to travel any distance to get it, just get you 2. I know I'm going to use 2 over the winter, so why not go ahead and buy 2 now and store 1 or put both of them out? It doesn't matter. I mean, it's not like they're going to go bad. But go ahead and put them out. Once the sheep get the protein that they need from not grazing, I do have some good hay that I have out that does have a protein content, but not as much as I probably should. So once these go out and the sheep start to hit them, you're going to see a big difference, because they'll plateau out. They'll hit it hard, half the tub will be gone, and then all of a sudden you'll notice that it slows down. They do have molasses in them. Looking at it now, crude protein is 15%. Crude fat is 5%. Fiber is at 3.5, and on and on. It's got your phosphorus, your calcium, your magnesium. So you're not just getting protein, you're getting, this is called a Stimulix, but it is a supplement all the way across the board, and you really need this in the winter. Do I feed these in the summer? No. After the sheep have their babies, and about a month after that, or once the grass starts to green up, I just pull them. They're going to get enough protein in the field that they don't need it. And along with this, if I do feed, when they really start to get into that last 30 days of pregnancy, I will also put in some all stock with some soybean meal that I've talked about in the past as well, just to kind of get that protein up. Here's one thing that I do want to say, because a lot of people, or not a lot, probably a large group of people out there will say, if you feed too much protein, the babies will get too big and all of that. One of the main reasons that I am giving them this protein supplement this year again is because last year we had the largest flock of healthy babies, lambs that we have ever had. I did not lose one to malnutrition. I did not have one mama that wasn't having enough milk. I didn't have any of that. So every lamb that hit the ground, and we don't come in here and do anything crazy, nature does its way, we did not lose one. Was that because of this? I don't know. But I don't know that it wasn't. So I'm going to put them out. I'm going to do another trial run this year, see how that works. If we have the same results or close to it, then they will stay out all the time. But I will always have these out in the winter. It's all just a point of the value and everything in it. I still have my mineral tub out. Okay, I still have my water and my hay, obviously. But this does not mean that you take your minerals out of the field. Yes, it has your magnesium, your vitamin E. I'm reading off of it, the D3, the vitamin A, the zinc, the selenium, the magnesium. But sheep are smart. Animals are much smarter than humans. If they don't need it, they're not going to get in it. So keep that in mind. Let's get these out, and I'll show you how quickly they hit these things. Okay, these are 125 pounds each. Bear with me, I'm an old man. Try not to laugh too hard when you see me struggle with this. What's really great about these tubs as well is, if you see a lot of the videos out there on YouTube and homesteading and gardening, is a lot of people are using the cattle protein tubs that you can get from the cattle farmers. These are great. They are only, they're only about 18 inches high, a little bit less than 18. But what's great about these is you don't have to put a dump truck load of dirt in it to just grow a couple tomatoes. This past year I grew, I had a great crop of loofahs that I planted in this, and I also planted pan squash for the market, and I have right now up in the raised bed, I have a couple of these that I have my winter onions in. So they're great for that, or even, to be honest with you, these are great too for a water trough. That's probably what I'm going to do with one of these. Is I'll just clip one of my reservoirs on the side, and that's a nice amount of water, lightweight, that you can dump out. So like I said, 125 pounds. I'm going to show you, that's tough. And what's nice is all you have to do is just pull that off. That's it. So you can see, I'm going to try and get over here and see, you can see it's just a molasses based, but in a couple of days, or even by the end of the day, they will chew around the end. Once it gets to where they have it where they want it, and the levels even up, it'll go bad. Now, here is something too that a lot of people know, but again, it's one of those things I didn't know. Don't put this near your hay, and don't put this near your water. If you do, even in the winter, you're going to have one area where all your livestock is going to congregate. It's got its water, it's got its hay. So I have the protein tub here, a good ways away, you can see my hay, and then a good ways all the way down is my water. I don't want everything in one area. If you do, you're gonna have food and poop and them laying around in one area. That is just not gonna work in the long run, so keep that in mind. You see how quickly they're already biting their teeth on it. Now, I'm only putting one out. These larger sheep, once they get their fix, they're gonna be fine. And then the smaller ones can come in. They'll fight a little bit, but this just shows you, right now they're attracted to that molasses. Here comes Mary, she's gonna check things out. But the ram, you can see Sam, big guy right there. He's gonna check everything out. They're gonna hit this pretty hard. And I'll, once they calm down, I'll get another little clip so you can see how much they got into it. Okay, here we are at 24 hours to show you guys. I know I talked about the ring around, but you know what this tells you is that the sheep right now are good on the protein content. I mentioned that I've been feeding a little bit of the soybean meal that's got a higher protein content. So this is gonna stay out here. That makes me feel really good because that means them not coming in. Last year at this time, as I'd mentioned, there was a ring where they had gone around within the first 24 hours where they were just chewing. There's nothing there. There's one right there. That's a hoof print. I don't know if that's a deer or a sheep. I'm not sure. Deer might have come through last night. The deer will get on them too if you're out in an area like me, but that's definitely a good sign. That's going to wrap up the video for this week. I really appreciate you guys listening, and I hope there's something in there that I have said will help. One thing that I would really say is understand that these animals, whether they're sheep, goats, cows, whatever, if you were new when you were starting out, understand that they know what they need. Allow them, with the protein tubs and some of these other things, to have a free range of what they want and what they don't. One of the things that I have learned from this video is that my sheep were doing a whole lot better with protein than I thought. They have not hit the tub as hard, and that tells me a lot. So make sure that you let them have what they want, and you will do fine. Also, don't pay attention to just one farmer. Don't pay attention to just this one video. Go out and surf and see what other people are doing, because what somebody on a video says or someone in your local area says is the best thing to do may or may not be for you, and that's important to look at as well. If you have any questions or comments, put them down below, and I appreciate your time, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks.